Welcome back, friends. In this episode, we switch out our snorkels for downhill skis.
We've bought an extra lift ticket just for you. Grab your toque. Let's hit the slopes. Skiing had definitely not been on the agenda when we planned this part of our year, but we found ourselves in Japan for about a total of 3 weeks, and we kept hearing the weather forecast. They were getting an incredible season of snow here, and you always hear these stories of the epic Japan powder. So we looked at each other and said, can we fit in a ski trip? And we decided to make it happen kind of last minute.
So if you look at the map here, you'll see that we left from Kyoto and headed to an area called Hakuba. This was pretty easy to get to, just a couple trains and we were there. And in the area of Hakuba, there is, I think, 9 or 10 different ski hills, and you can buy one pass for all of the runs. So it's a pretty good deal. The other thing you can do in Japan is it's fairly easy to get all of your gear as rental. So not only did we rent the skis, boots, and poles, but we were also able to outfit ourselves with full ski pants, ski jackets, goggles, gloves, helmets, the whole deal, all as rentals. So this worked out really good.
You look pretty snazzy as a hooligan snowboarder.
They didn't fit exactly perfectly, but what can you expect from rental clothes?
They were warm, that's what mattered.
Yep.
Having picked up our skis and our snowsuits, we made our way up to the small cottage that we had rented for the week. It was slim pickings at the time that we booked because it was only a couple of weeks in advance that we decided to do this, and it's a very popular area, we found out. But I found it was pretty cozy for the two of us. Maybe the futons aside, they weren't the most comfortable, but we adjusted.
Yeah, and the thing about this area is that there's not kind of a main area, kind of village where there's a lot of hotels and restaurants like there are at some of the North American resorts. And so we were pretty far from kind of restaurants or grocery stores, and it was a bit tough to get around without a car. We made do, but I think in future visits you really want to have a car. The taxis were booked solid. You had to book them in advance. You pretty much had to speak Japanese to be able to book one. The Uber didn't really exist. It did, but nobody kind of picked up your ride. So this was a challenging part of it. We could have booked in, I think, somewhere a little bit closer to the transit or closer to restaurants, but all of those were completely booked.
That was probably the biggest lesson learned of this part of our travels. We did get our routine down. Every morning we started with about a 20-minute hike uphill to that nearest ski resort where you could hook into all those shuttles and get to the other hills. We figured out how to lash both pairs of skis onto my backpack. You managed to carry both pairs of boots. Off we went. You were certainly warmed up by the time you got to the parking lot. So enough about all the logistics. Let's get down to what's important. How'd you find the skiing?
I thought the skiing was really good. The snow was really nice, kind of fresh powder. It wouldn't be good without fresh snow, but they usually get it. The only problem I found is that each little hill it wasn't huge. They were smaller, like in height and the amount of runs, as well as there wasn't really challenging steep terrain. So you kind of had your fill after a couple hours, but then you had to figure out the shuttle system and try and get somewhere else. And it was a busy area, so the shuttles were pretty busy. So that was a little bit tough. So I'm kind of in between on the skiing. I liked it, but I think maybe with a car, if you could zip around, it might be more enjoyable.
Yeah, I agree. It was nice to get out on the slopes. It was some great snow. We certainly had a good time. Don't mean to downplay it too much. Let's show you a few more shots of having fun on the snow. enjoyed taking a few runs with us there. Well, we've got a minute. It's been ages since we've done any stats. Here's some fresh ones for you.
So now with hitting Japan, we're in our 11th country so far. So this is pretty amazing that we've got all these countries in this short of time.
And in terms of transportation, gosh, we've done a bit of everything. We've done bullet trains, sleeper trains, bamboo trains, and now we can add downhill skis to the list.
For our final thoughts, I'm really glad we did this ski trip. It was just a really unique experience. The people were really nice. They're like great people that are working the lifts, and everybody around was having a good time. Everybody we sat with on the chairlift was great. And due to our maybe poor planning and lack of transportation, we actually got some friendly folks to help us out. You?
Everybody from like the friend of one of the kids that worked at the ski shop gave us a lift one day because we just could not get a taxi. We thumbed a lift from another hotel manager who just happened to be cruising by the train station and really did us a solid. I've got his business card here. If you ever find yourself in Hakuba, do look him up. And we made a go of it in the end. There were some challenges at the start there of just figuring out transportation was the big one, but it was a really fun and unique time. I'm really pleased that we can finally say we went skiing in Japan.
That wraps up things for our skiing portion of Japan, but we still have lots to do in this country. So stay tuned. What's up next?
Ah, we've got so much to see. First, we swing by for a visit with the snow monkeys in Nagano. Then we head on down to the coast in Kamakura. And finally, we hit the biggest metropolis in the world, Tokyo. And we kick off there with a behind the scenes visit of the wizarding world of Harry Potter. So much to come. We'll see you soon.